Pandemonium Day. Final Fantasy XIV. This is the first time in a long time that I was not awake, like, right when the servers came up to immediately go do it and stream it. That is because I'm no longer working nights where I would be, normally be up at 4 in the morning. Or 5, 3, whenever it was that it came up. But I was way too tired to do that. Like, I actually did think about it. I was like, I'll set my alarm, and it was like, no, I'll be exhausted and it won't be fun. But now it will be fun. The Crystal from Beyond. It appears my calculations were correct. I knew that at this very spot I would... What a bullshitter. This guy should stream. He should take over my stream. Or she. I would encounter none other than Kanjita, the hero who saw us through the final days. So certain was I of my math that I stood here for... Well, let's not concern ourselves with that. I am Nemgigi, assistant to one Professor Claudian. We work with the Itioscope to observe the ethereal sea and delve into its myriad mysteries. Some mysteries, though, are beyond even our capabilities to unravel. The strange crystal we but recently discovered, for instance, defies our every conjecture. You've been to the center of the star, and far beyond it, however, so we hope that you may see something in this crystal that we academics do not. I beg you, lend us your well-traveled eye at Aporia. Professor Claudian will be eagerly awaiting your arrival. I accept. So I pretty much always try and go through on... But, oh, I just realized, is the... I'm going to turn this up a bit more. Did not check sound settings, as is customary. As is tradition. As the prophecy foretold, even. What do you say, Nemgigi? Welcome, welcome. We appreciate any insight you can provide on the matter of this crystal. Professor Claudian will share the particulars with you. I'm sure he shall. Greetings, Kanjita, and welcome to my humble laboratory. I'm sure Nemgigi has already told you plenty about us, but allow me to introduce myself personally, because it's a cutscene now. I'm Claudian, leader of this little research collective. I must admit, I've been nervous about this meeting ever since Nemgigi set out to find you. For a researcher in my field, there is no greater honor than to meet the first woman in history to traverse the ethereal sea and return to tell the tale. The professor speaks often and at length of your deeds, but he has no small number of achievements to his own name. He has peered deeper into the ethereal sea than any other in Sharlayan, and the breadth of his knowledge is peerless. Peerless, perhaps, but for a single woman. We must seize this precious opportunity to learn what we can from her, and perhaps crack this conundrum that has stumped the three of us for moons. It hasn't been moons. Well, maybe they've had this question for moons. It was we who peered into the fathomless sea from the antitower in the Duranian hinterlands. There we spoke with Heidel and learned of the fate that would befall this star, the final days. Soon thereafter, all research was moved to Labyrinthos. Wait, when? I thought that was a while ago. The exodus from Sharlayan? Oh no, it was 15 years ago. It was right after El Nigo fell. Soon thereafter, all research was moved to Labyrinthos, and through the Itioscope did we continue our vigil. As impressive a work as this device is, however, it can glimpse but a fraction of the sea's infinite depths. Well, a fraction of infinity is still infinity, so good job. It can see infinity. Which brings us to the matter at hand. Not long after the exodus was declared, we received an unusual crystal shard during a routine observation. It appeared before us suddenly, as if propelled to the surface by some unknown force. We found that it possessed an ethereal density that exceeds that of normal crystals by orders of magnitude, and its shape resembles nothing which occurs in the natural world. It was made, not formed. Unfortunately, that was the extent of the information we could glean before we were forced to turn our focus toward the Exodus. The crystal was very nearly forgotten amidst the sudden upheaval. But thanks to the efforts of a certain someone, that crisis is now behind us, and we are free to resume our research. Garrett, hello. Also, I'm clearly not paying attention. Why do I not have a face? Hello, face. Face? Me? My face? Why? Face? Remote. Show. Whoops. That's not supposed to move. There. Pro streamer. Ah, cool. Yeah, Inscription is pretty good. I finished it. I finished it unexpectedly. On Tuesday, I was playing through it, and I went, I had some technical difficulties. My network, my internet was suddenly really bad, and I was like, oh, well, we can't figure it out. All right, well, I'll stream more on Thursday. And then as I went to end the stream, I was like, I'll try coming back in like 45 minutes, because I would still like to play some more. And so I did that. And when I came back, it was fine, and then I unexpectedly finished the game. Then I was like, oh, okay, well, you know, come Thursday, I'll play something. And then Thursday came around, and I went, I'm out of games to play. I don't have any games lined up. And I'm like, I couldn't make up my mind, so I didn't stream anything Thursday or Saturday or yesterday. Because I'm not sure what to play next. Although I do have things, of course. I have a whole Steam library. But we are done with Inscription, so it'll be something else. But thanks to the efforts of a certain someone, that crisis is now behind us, and we are free to resume our research. Thus did we decide to seek you out. The dauntless adventurer who delved into the unknown and beheld its innermost secrets, and now we would have you see for yourself. And unfortunately, just from looking at the patch notes, they already show you in the thumbnail what the question. I mean, what the crystal is, which I guess they're only spoiling something that's like 2 minutes into the quest, but still. If it resembles aught you have encountered before, even by the smallest degree, please say so. And it's got the shape. Same shape as the Asium. Not necessary. Of course I remember what these are. But I can't tell them. No, I can. Should I say memories? We don't... It's not inscribed with anything, so maybe there's no memories in it yet, but there could be. So, interestingly, what happens with a lot of, MMOs on release of the game or release of an expansion is, oh, the servers fall over and crash and die. That's not what's happening here. What's happening here is that they have hard capped the number of people that can be on the server at once, and as a result, once you're in, you're golden, but the number of people who want to play is way too high. So if you log in at any time during, like, even close to prime time, like for North America, it would be, like, I think it's around 3 p.m., until like 11 p.m. or 12 p.m., you will have 100 or like 1,000 or more people in line in front of you, and people can't log in until someone else logs out. And so the servers have not been crashing, but it's been very difficult to play, and they've actually taken the like in the same way that Fallout and what else was there this year or last year? Well, Fallout wasn't recent, but Cyberpunk, that's the one I'm thinking of. Cyberpunk 77, Grand Theft Auto thing, the whatever other thing, you know, there have been a bunch of gaming failures recently where it's like, oh, they pulled it from the shelves. They actually did it with this because they were like, we don't feel good, like, selling people the game and saying, pay us money, here you go, here's our game. You can't log in to play it. So they're literally the suffering from success meme. Oh, I just skipped. What did... As I thought, you do know what this is. Please tell me everything. Okay. I do so. I see. The Ascians use these to transfer their memories to new vessels. Fascinating indeed. But to answer your question, this is the content. In fact, this is patch 6.01, which came out this morning. I was just saying earlier, normally when new content comes out, I've been in the habit of streaming it immediately as soon as the servers come up. But since I'm no longer working nights, and since the server comes up at like 4 in the morning, I couldn't do that this time without being a very sleepy Hitan, which I didn't want to be. It was plain that this crystal was special somehow, but this revelation surpasses even my considerable expectations. Similar artifacts have appeared through the ages, memories of martial techniques manifested in crystalline shards on the battlefield, or storied stones passed from master to student. Spoken from the sword, passed down from the stone, now the story can be told! Zodiac Brave story! Which I guess was originally where this whole thing came from, the idea of... How does the... I can't actually recite the tactics opening from memory. I'm sure AJ and Amber both can. A comparison between said artifacts and this crystal may prove a fruitful first step in unveiling its true nature. What do you think, Professor? Oh, he's already talking to himself. Ascian memories, windows through which we can gaze upon the convocation of 14. Unlike the crystal in Kanjita's story, this one does not bear the mark of the convocation. Who, then, could these memories belong to? And more importantly, why were they stored in this particular shard? More importantly still, why was it set adrift on the ethereal sea? So, part of the problem, like, they knew months in advance that there were going to be way too many people for this, because of all of the people joining in, like, in July and August, mostly. There was a huge, huge surge of interest in the game. And they were like, if it were physically possible for us to add more servers, we would. But because of the semiconductor shortage, they're like, everything is already spoken for. Like, if you're going to order stuff, you know, on the level that they want to, there's no way. They're like, even offering above market price, we can't get the hardware. It's not available anywhere in the world. Because of fucking NFTs. Not entirely NFTs, but it's because of stupidity a lot. Also COVID. Professor Claudian. Yes? But I'm well aware that contemplation is the key to breakthrough, but there is propriety to consider. We have a guest, one you invited explicitly. Must we do this every time? Well, yes, of course, our guest. Terribly sorry. I do so easily find myself unmoored by the tides of rumination. Not me. No, I do too. The tides of rumination get me sometimes. Perhaps a more engaging use of your time with us would be for you to take up that crystal. If indeed there are memories stored within, they may reveal themselves to you upon contact. Oh, that'd be awfully convenient. If anyone, message, come, pandemonium, please. Faces, grave threat, star, in danger. I already fixed it. It was like 30,000 years after you made the message, but I already fixed it. That expression does not bode well. What did you see? I've already forgotten. Something about faces. Whoever hands you this crystal is the real bad guy. Just kill him on the spot. Pandemonium. 'Tis not a word I've heard before. If my knowledge of the ancient tongue serves me, it means all demons. Not a name that inspires optimism, all things considered. Is that what... Oh, like Pan. Like Pan and then demon. I see. In the event that another star-shattering cataclysm is in fact bearing down upon us, I would have the aforementioned examples of crystallized memories to hand. Wait, what? To hand... What? I would have the aforementioned examples... He's talking about mine that I had on the first? No. I don't know what he's talking about. I would have the aforementioned examples of crystallized memory to hand. Nimjiji. Rusanao. I entrust the procurement to you. If there are more memories to be extracted from this crystal, we will find them. As for you, Kanjita, there is a person I would have you seek. The one who has delivered so dire a warning. Your story tells us that this crystal could very well have been made by one of the ancients. If that is the case, then discerning the nature of this pandemonium would require a trip far into the past, to an era before the Sundering. Fortunately, I have a time machine, and I actually do this time, not just memeing like I do with all my other video games. I know of only one individual capable of such a feat, the very hero who traversed time to prevent the world's doom. I must confess, the tales people tell of your adventures beggar belief, and their veracity has been a subject of much debate among my peers. After today's meeting, however, there can be no doubt in my mind that every incredible exploit is fact. Because I picked up a crystal and I said it talked to me? Man, you're gullible. He's like, as unbelievable as it once was, you picked up a thing and said, oh, I think I hear voices in my head. He was like, unbelievable. All the stories, they're true. The Jedi, everything. So I ask you now, return to the past. Find out what and where Pandemonium is. You mean when Pandemonium is? And I actually do mean I get to do all of the time travel memes today. And if we need be concerned by this message. Thank you. For the time being, you should keep the crystal in your possession. I do not think you have seen the last of its memories. And more may be drawn out as you approach their source. That's not how the Force works. I suspect that you'll be able to get more memories out of that crystal if you go back in time. Maybe. Safe travels, and may we meet again soon to share our findings. For Professor Claudian, I would burn the candle on both ends. Or rather, I will. First, I must find the historical documents he requested. And then, what was I meant to do again? Pray, journey to the past and ascertain the severity of the threat. Keep the crystal for now. Until we can find a way to listen to its messages, it will do more good in your hands than ours. From this moment on, our objective shall be to fill every cranny of this place. Don't say cranny without saying nook first. It's weird. With crystals, surely the gleaners won't mind braving a few haunted battlefields for the right price. To the past mobile. Preow. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. If receives this message, it's conveniently interacting with the time gate. Come, pandemonium, quickly. Unfortunately, the lost context is that they're saying, don't come to pandemonium. Run away, quickly. Oh my god, I've been punched. No? I fell. Wait, did I almost telefrag this guy? Aren't I supposed to come in through something? Could it be? No, of course not. My apologies, but for the briefest moment I thought you to be a dear friend of mine. I realize now that such a notion is preposterous. She told me a falling star would appear before me. So I suppose you must be it. Truth be told, I did not expect the expression to be so literal. Playing a little fast and loose with how that time travel machine works. Like nobody ever said in the first place, but... apologies for not introducing myself properly. My name is Temis? Temis the Tank Engine. As you can see by my bare face, I am not one of Elpis's followers. Oh, wait, observers. Rather, I am come here on an assignment, which has been more or less routine up until this very moment. You certainly do know how to make an entrance. I must wonder what brought you here, for it is plain that you do not belong here, or any place I know, for that matter. Yeah, sure, I'll say I'm Asim's familiar. I love to lie. It appears my initial impression was not so preposterous after all. I did not know my friend had such a unique familiar at her disposal. So Asim sent him here, and then said, oh, like, I'll send a message 3,000 years into the future so that after the war... No. Asim doesn't know... Did Venel go and tell Asim everything? That'd be weird. If you're here at Asim's behest, then I believe I can hazard a guess as to your purpose. You are here to investigate pandemonium, yes? If so, we may be able to help one another, but first, might I trouble you to explain how you came to collide with my skull? It's my secret attack, that's all. I see. I believe that dispels any major doubts I had concerning your intentions. Apologies for being so intrusive, but you must understand this is an uncommon occurrence. I shall pry no further, for I am well aware that we all have secrets we must keep. However, if I may, I would very much like to take a look at this crystal of yours. Fascinating. Well, I cannot say much as to what it contains. It is clear that there are memories stirring within. Memories that speak of something gravely amiss in Pandemonium. The facility extends beneath Elpis and is overseen by the Words of La Habrea. It houses those creations that are highly valued as research subjects and highly dangerous to the star. Naturally, it is strictly guarded and under constant surveillance. Several days ago, however, an unnatural shift in the flow of its surrounding ether was detected. Soon thereafter, all communications from Pandemonium ceased. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm from the future, where the world hasn't turned to sand. I am here as representative of an organization that works directly with the Convocation, and have been tasked with investigating this incident. Draknek? I don't think I've played any of their games. A Monsters Expedition I've heard of. A very enjoyable puzzle game, and Bonfire Peaks is their newest one, although that's harder. Alright, I feel like I've maybe even written it down before, but I will write it down again. I also have Danger Energy, which someone recommended a while back. I think they said it's not that it's great, but when I looked it up, it was very cheap. It was on sale for less than $1. That was like a while ago that I picked it up. So I might play that, but it might only be for one stream. We'll see. Oh, I just got Loop Hero for free. The Epic Games Store was like, oh, we're doing a promotion. Like you can just buy this game for free and have it forever. And I'm like, well, all right. I'm here as a representative. Oh, I already read that. Yep, I figured you meant. Now that there is some measure of transparency between us, might I offer a suggestion as to what we should do next? During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment. Ah, I see. Where familiars dare. Now then, my proposal is a simple one. Let us journey to Pandemonium together. Our destination is the same, and I suspect the arrangement would work to our mutual benefit. Besides, I should have no trouble gaining us both access. I do hope you agree. I would be loath to part ways from the falling star I have been waiting so long for. Originally, I had planned to conduct my investigation with the friend I mentioned earlier. She had also noticed the anomaly near Pandemonium, so it only seemed natural that we should investigate it together. However, she decided it would be unwise for us both to go. If 2 members of our organization were seen poking our heads around restricted facilities, it could raise questions, you see. I decided to go alone. But she left me with these words, "Fear not, for in my absence a star shall fall before you." While I could not comprehend her meaning at the time, I believe now I understand. She does have a way of being right about these things. What the frick is this? Exactly. Because Azem shouldn't know about the unless Venna just went and told her, I guess. Even so, her hints of what to come are generally more cryptic. I suppose I should have kept my gaze to the heavens. Suffice it to say that I am grateful for your presence either way. As for the matter at hand, we must first gain permission from the words of La Habrea for entry into Pandemonium. There ought to be a speaker waiting at Anagnoresis. Anagnoresis. Alright. So if this is just like, oh, there's no, it's gonna be some other Final Fantasy reference, right? Perhaps. What haven't we done yet? Maybe it'll be a bunch of Dynamis enemies from Promathia, or whatever. Those were 2 different things from 11. What a fascinating etheric signature. In accordance with the Convocation's request, the 2 of you have been granted leave to observe Pandemonium. I shall register your ether for the records. From this point on, you may freely come and go from Pandemonium as you please. Nod. Now, this is a painless process. I take this as a sign we are meant to conduct our investigations together. Of course, while you've been permitted entry into the facility, the specimens housed within must be handled with utmost care. You are to heed the warder's instructions at all times. Those who conduct their work within Pandemonium are called warders, for their role with respect to the creatures within. Generally, creations that pose a threat to the safety of the star must be undone. However, the words of La Habrea has deemed certain such creations as worthy of further study, interring them within the facility. Those who spend their days in Pandemonium are not merely researchers. They must work tirelessly to ensure that none of their subjects slip their shackles. Seems highly unlikely that would ever happen. 0.001% chance. For all intents and purposes, the place is a dungeon. Perhaps such a comparison arouses frightful imagery, but Pandemonium is a frightful place. I'm not afraid. I know not the purpose of your investigation, but if you discover aught that merits a report, pray do so with utmost haste. Master La Habrea shall guide us upon the proper course of action from here. Is that going to be the big thing? Like, oh, we're finally going to meet La Habrea. Then I take it that means you have detected nothing amiss as of late? The warders have reported nothing that would cause alarm. Minor fluctuations in ether have been observed, but surely Master La Habrea would have acted if there were anything worth worrying about. I see. It appears La Habrea is kept well abreast of the goings on here, then. I hope I am not overstepping my boundaries by asking, but you seem to be quite familiar with Master La Habrea. Do you know him? I killed him. Actually, I didn't kill him. Thordan killed him. Oh, the stories I could tell you. He was always going on with Uzamadana. You are no mere familiar, are you? Master La Habrea is not known for being generous with his time. That one would have stories of his company almost beggars belief. Regardless, while I doubt I need to tell you this, he is of the Convocation. Take care that your actions do not hinder his work. And with that, we are free to make our way to Pandemonium. The Neos? News? The news that will take us... No, it's a thing. It's not plural. The Neos. that will take us there is on the eastern bank of Leth. Let us delay no further. Pandemonium, yeah. What is that even? Bum 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 bottom. I mean, I guess we'll find out what a Neos is. Boom, boom. Do, 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 do. Call that a Neos? I had to contain my surprise for the sake of appearances, but is it true that you two have met La Habrea in the flesh? I find you more fascinated by the moment. Still, I shall refrain from asking too many questions. Secrets will make our journey all the more intriguing. We shall come to know each other in time, I wager, or else why would fate have orchestrated our meeting? In any case, let us be off. Truth be told, this will be my first time beholding the fabled pandemonium with my own eyes. Here's to a new adventure, eh? And then we got there and the place was in shambles. Maybe. It is much as I feared. Dracula took over. The speaker seemed in such high spirits that for a moment I thought the ethereal irregularity was not so grave a portent as I had imagined. Alas, 'twas a fleeting... A fleeing? Not fleeting? It was a fleeing and vain hope. Okay, the hope fled. It didn't fleet, but it did flee. To gaze upon this complex network of chains and wards, the untrained eye may not sense anything awry. No effort has been spared in making this place impenetrable. Then why isn't Ratantin guarding it? His shields are impregnable. What are we gonna fight here? Like, if it's just monsters, then this is gonna be a boring raid. Even the finest of masterworks is not without its flaws, however. Someone or something is tampering with the protections. It is working from within, eroding them from inside out. Fear not, there's no immediate danger. I reinforced what protections I could the moment we arrived. This will not put an end to whatever is occurring, but it shall at least serve to slow its progress. One small victory, though the road ahead of us is yet long. Yes, powerful forces are at work here. The silence in the air speaks volumes. While I did not expect a bustling facility, I see not a single warder. Our first course of action should be to seek one out, wherever they may be. However, there is something you must know. The magic I wove upon entering requires my constant awareness. That is to say, if we are forced to fight, I cannot risk joining you in battle. Should I lose focus, Pandemonium's protections will rapidly crumble before the force assailing them. Were there another way, I would gladly choose it, but let us at least be grateful that neither of us is here alone, trapped in hopeless circumstances. If we should fail to find a peaceable solution, though, I hope I can rely on your strength to see us through. Only if I am allowed to change jobs, because my item level is higher on White Mage. He's like, I frickin' knew it. Nobody ever invites me over because they want to ask me questions. It's because they want me to shoot things, or blow them up, or hit them with an axe. At least you received it with good humor. Rest assured, I do not mean to stand by idly while you risk life and limb. I may be... See, shouldn't that be a weird concept to them? Like, Ascians don't die, or the Ancients. Ancients don't die. It's not like you would go, oh, we were fighting and I got shot and then I died. Although I guess if I'm a familiar, then he thinks that I can die. I do not mean to stand by idly while you risk life and limb. I hope to be able to lend at least a touch of magical support. Creation magics do have their uses in that regard. I had it in mind to use your ether as basis for illusory allies that will fight at your side. Oh, this is awfully convenient. Perhaps 7 shall do. Not exactly an army, but by the looks of you, a formidable band nonetheless. Then so shall it be. Now, what, I wonder, awaits us in Pandemonium's pitiless halls? So, does it bwomp now? Like, the fight is immediate. Yes. Bwomp. Okay, so he was just saying that I will... He's like, instead of Azim's crystal being the duty finder, he's just like, no, man, I'll summon up 7 illusions to fight with you. Alrighty. Asphodelos. First circle. The discovery of a crystal born from the far reaches of the ethereal sea and the desperate plea contained within led you once more to Elpis, where your trajectory quite literally collides with that of a young man named Themis. Like you, he is here for answers, seeking the source of an etheric disturbance culminating in loss of contact with the jail housing the ancients' most dangerous creations. It is this place, this pandemonium, into which you now descend. Okay, I do it. Not in progress, though. Do I have food? Food? Like real food? Here, I'll eat a skur. Is that my only healer food? Oh, no, that's right. I made a ton of Bavaroy. And compote, more importantly. Not that I necessarily need the pot. Well, who knows? Who knows how anything works these days? Oh, I can run through them. Well then. I guess nothing bad happened. Except for that. Commence! Oh, I'll save them. I must! This appears to be one of the warders we seek, but I am afraid he is in no state to answer questions. Oh, I missed the rest of it. So, beat him up? Okay. Erchthonios? Alright. So no clue what this is gonna be. I must save them, but first... Run all you like, but my chains will catch you. That whole side of the arena. Jailer's Flail. Warder's Wrath hit everybody. And we'll go no further. Pitiless. Okay, it's hitting a single person. Oh, and knocked them back to infinity and beyond. Stack. Oh, oh no. Well, we got people who can raise. Besides me. Man. Alright, so you have to stay close to him the whole time. Because he's constantly doing this thing where one side or the other is... be assailed by ice and flame. Oh, well, they cancel each other out. I'll be fine. Overwhelming heat. I probably wanted the other one, didn't I? Ouch. I see. Maybe. Oh no, poor other healer. He's getting wrecked. Shining cells. Wow. Ether chain. Am I red? Am I blue? Do we have to switch? Oh, he's... I see. He had some red and then some blue going around him, so that tells you which... It's blue now, so we gotta get on the red. Oh no, and I gotta get over here. My poor healer. He's trying so hard. I'm on the wrong thing. Are we red? Are we blue? I think I will have to turn effects down after all. I've had effects on full for self and party, and it's too much. I cannot see this man. Slam shut. Okay, overwhelming heat. So start off. Yeah, let's come over here. Oh no, we're gonna have things? What is it? Oh no, that's just the heat. And then after the second blast, I'll go somewhere cold. Easy enough. Oh, except he's flailing. Move. We're okay. There's a lot of raid-wide damage going out. Heavy hand sounds like a tank buster. It was. Prepare for whatever comes next. I did that way too crude. There was obviously nothing coming out in the next 10 seconds. Oh, nope, there it was. Alright, he's blue. Oh, whoops, he was also flailing. That's why everyone moved. Now what? Pitiless follows the knockback. You gonna be okay? No. Oh, oh. Okay. Pop, spling. Bone stack's almost gone. Slam shot, crazy damage. Intemperance. Oh, it's just this. Stay here for 2 clicks, and then go to Hotsville. Uh-oh. Did I... Oh. Oh, I don't know that I would have used that early. No, we win. For sure. Yeah. Effects are gonna have to come down. My god. I feel like even to the... well, it's because we're all level 80 now. During dungeons and, like, Trial 1, it's like, oh, people, you know, either it was only 4 people or we didn't have all our abilities. Alright. Fairly easy once you get the hang of it. Although weird, because what is this supposed to be? We walked in here and there was a jailer guy, like, I'm gonna beat you up? But why? I'm not going for... oh, no, wait. Not going for chest or legs, not this week, I don't think. Roll on everything else. See what happens. And somebody left without getting loot. Strange. So yeah, I think I'll go for 2 accessories and a small piece for the week. Doo-be-doo-doo-doo-doo. A high roll on the helmet, so maybe I got that. I did. Alright, so I'll grab another helmet token and accessory. Alright, so what's the big idea, guy? That was a thrilling display, and if I may be so vaunting, the warriors I spun from your ether fought even more splendidly than I had anticipated. I don't know, they died a lot. I suppose they were cut from excellent cloth, after all. We should wait until this man regains his senses. He wears the robes of a warder, and I would be very curious to know what drove him to attack us sight unseen. What do your elf eyes see? Kanji, he stirs. What came over me? Ah, you turned into a big chain guy. It's coming back to me. My mind was filled with a storm of desperation, anger. I leapt at you, though I knew naught of your intentions. Pray accept my apologies, and my thanks. Had you not knocked some sense into me, I might have fallen upon someone less capable of defending themselves. I am Erechthonios, a warder of Asphodelos. Is he rhyming on purpose? Pandemonium's highest layer, and the place we're in now. One must wonder why you were so desperate to keep us out. What is happening in Pandemonium? The creations interred within Asphodelos have been set free, and stalk its halls with no end but violence. That is not good, to say the least. Has this ever happened before? Plus, why don't you point your magic finger guns at them and unmake them? Can't you guys do that? I'm sure he'll tell me. He has some excuse, this frickin' guy. No, never. Each level of Pandemonium is under the charge of a key ward, who keeps strict control over the most minute aspects of their domain. They're selected with great care, and their loyalty to Master Lahabrea is absolute. Yet something has gone terribly wrong. Try as we might to hold the line, the chaos within is overwhelming. I hardly realized that I had become separated from my colleagues. I remember a chorus of whispers assailing my senses, and afterwards only flashes of rage and fury, then blackness, from which I awoke to find that whatever had overcome me was gone. I see. Your senses may have been muddled by magics that affect the mind, perhaps the selfsame ones that saw you separated from the other warders. Whatever had taken hold of me, thank you for releasing me from its clutches. That you've come here from the surface must mean some word of our plight has reached the outside world. If you know anything that may help, pray tell. I don't know anything. Oh, he does. Okay, good. Horror among horrors. So Pandemonium's protections are indeed being dismantled from within. By the same individual, or individuals, that released its captives and set them upon you, no doubt. Such knowledge avails us little, however, if we cannot ascertain their identity. Themis, was it? You said you worked for an organization under the auspices of the Convocation. Were they to receive word of what has transpired here, what measures would they take? Nuke it, probably. Doubtless they would consider this place to be a lost cause. Pandemonium's ties to the outside world would be severed, or perhaps it would be wiped from existence entirely. See? That would be terrible. Then all of these people would die and not get to see the final days, which are pretty terrible. As I thought, were the creatures to escape into the outside world, there would be untold carnage. The words of Lahabrea would never risk that, despite what value the research subjects may hold. All the more reason to work with haste. If If we can't expect further help, then it falls upon me to save the others. I'll not leave them behind. You'd go alone? What, all by myself? I won't leave the other warders to face certain doom. I know they fight for survival even now. They wouldn't abandon their duty. They would see the creatures return to their cells at all costs. And I must do the same, Themis. I know the request I'm about to make of you is a monumental one, but please say not a word of this to the convocation until I've been given a chance to set things right. Forgive my rudeness, Ericthonios, but my decision cannot be swayed by emotion. You would only be consigning yourself to an early death. Strength of resolve alone cannot win in the face of overwhelming odds, he said, with Conjita standing right next to him. Strength of resolve is the only thing that I know how to do. That being said, our investigation has only just begun, and we would be remiss to turn back ere we've made an exhaustive survey, so for the time being, there is slightly more than resolve to rely upon. I knew you would be all too eager to join us. The moment since you fell from the skies has been more each moment since you fell from the skies has been more interesting than the last. More and more you remind me of my dear friend, which goes some way toward encouraging me that this matter will yet reach a satisfactory conclusion, followed by the end of the universe, which we already know happens. It's kind of like, I shouldn't be upset that we're doing stuff in the past, but we already know for sure, you know, how the future turns out. So you agree to help? I wonder if maybe they'll bring that up. Maybe they'll bring up the, like, they'll kind of Danganronpa 3 it in some way and go, like, look, what matters is, I don't know, people. For the moment, our goals align. The protective magics of Pandemonium yet hold, so for the moment, time is in our favor. Let us proceed upon the course you and Conjita have set us upon. Tap, tap. Themis and Conjita, yes? Thank you. The warders owe you a great debt already. We shall be glad to have someone more familiar with Pandemonium's halls by our side. A party of 3 is ever so much more entertaining than a pair of 2. Now, let us turn our attention to rescuing your colleagues. Perhaps it would be wise to approach the gates in case any have followed you out.
I will not falter.
Evac, hi, thank you. What's up? We just finished the first Pandemonium fight. We have 3 more to go. Seems our investigation will be quite the ordeal after all. Still, I find it hard to believe that La Habrea knows naught of what has transpired here. Whoever the mastermind of this crisis is, they do not lack for power and cunning. They locked the door! Now that's cunning. No, not a sound can be heard from within, which means neither creature nor warder has made it this far. We should begin forming a plan to save them at once. Forgive me if I misunderstand, but do you mean to rescue the warders and creations both? Naturally. Although they may be dangerous, they're valuable research subjects. I wouldn't see our labor, untold hours of study, go to waste. I dare say La Habrea would smile to hear you say such a thing. That is, if we had cause to report this incident to him. Smile. I'm not sure his face is capable of such warmth. You saying he's a grumpy Gus? Ah, so you have met him before? I was under the impression he rarely visited Pandemonium. I have, yes. My mentor was the previous head of this facility. That is to say, La Habrea's predecessor in the position of Chief Keyboard. Did he have a name? Yeah, oh, her. Her name was Athena, and she was a researcher with the wards. It was she who appointed me to this position, in fact. I see. I did not know there was a Chief Keyboard before La Habrea. Your motivation to save your research subjects is not entirely driven by duty to the words, then. You also wish to preserve the work of your mentor. You have the right of it. I'm lacking in ideas of how to go about that, however. I'm a mere warder, and cannot wield interment magics. But of course I can hardly expect you to be versed in the magics we use here. If you recall, during our battle earlier, I bound you in ethereal shackles. You got some of the other party members. I'm pretty sure I dodged all of your attacks, though. Interment is a more powerful and more refined and powerful magic based upon the same principles. While both are used to keep our subjects docile, only the keyword in each tier is permitted to use interment. Even if I were allowed, I lack the aptitude to use the spell to any notable effect. Fascinating. I have some knowledge of these forms of spellcraft, actually. La Habrea himself established their foundation, if I recall. While shackles are meant to bind an object in place for a short time, interment freezes the very space around it for as long as the caster wills. No, not interested, sorry. Indeed. While the illusory beings you summoned in our fight suggested as much, I see your knowledge of magic is vast. Perhaps you've already mastered the art of interment, and I've been lecturing you like a child all this time. I'm afraid my knowledge ends there. I have not the precise understanding of how invocations interact with natural laws. Really? Could I get bigfollows.com? Or whatever, I don't actually know what the site is. I'm afraid my knowledge ends there. I have not a precise understanding of how the invocations interact with natural laws that would be needed to cast said spells with any consistency. .ru. .xyz. Maybe, while I consider myself well-versed in various magics, I would be ill-advised to assume the duties of keyword without instruction. That being said, if I were to learn more of interment and its inner workings, perhaps... Okay. Spending an awful lot of time... Yeah, leave the fighting to me. You guys figure out the rest. You guys do your braining, and I will fight. Eric, though, you implied that what prevented you from performing interment was the lack of magical capacity. What if I supplemented your power with my own? Would the spell succeed then? Can't say for certain. I've never heard of such a thing being done. I believe it may be our best recourse. That is, of course, assuming you can perform the initial rites and incantations flawlessly. Even the smallest misstep, and we would have to start over. You needn't worry about that. I've seen the spells cast so many times that their motions have been burned into my memory. I won't disappoint. Very well. Let us work out the specifics afterwards. Once we do, we can test out our methods on one of the escaped creatures, though I suppose there is the matter of finding one. It would be foolish to rush in blindly. Oh, well then that's not what I was about to do. Lest we find ourselves surrounded with naught but an untested stratagem at our disposal. Nay, I would prefer to engage a single creature that Conjita could dispatch on her own if the spell were to go awry. I agree, and I may have an idea in that regard. I recall seeing the hippocampus wandering the waterways during my flight. Perhaps it's still there. Few of the subjects housed within Asphodelos are fond of water, and I believe we'll be able to engage the beast without fear of unwanted guests. Then that shall be our first target, or perhaps subject is a better term. Before we commence the internment magics, the creature should be weakened to a sufficient degree. I believe I can trust you with that task. As dependable as ever. Once you have given it a thorough trouncing, we shall bind this hippocampus campos to the keywords magics. Until then, my illusions shall fight by your side. I thought they only had things here that were a danger to all of creation. You're saying I gotta fight a hippo? A danger hippo? The hippocampos will be alone, but it's a it's a daunting opponent. Okay, sure. Its magic warps the environment around it, and it will be at home amidst the waterways. Steel yourself for a fight. Maybe it's not a hippo at all. Maybe it is more campos than hippo. Athena ever drove home the fact that our subjects should be treated with utmost care. 'Twould be best if we could see them confined again, rather than disposed of like beasts gone feral. I take it we are each ready to fulfill our respective roles. Truth be told, this will be my first time I have practiced magic that requires such a degree of cooperation between parties. How thrilling. The warder Erectonios has brought with him the chilling news that all creations within Asphodelos, the highest level of pandemonium, now run free of their fetters in order to prevent total chaos from bursting forth onto the world above, like a runaway hippo. Themis and Erectonios plan to utilize internment. I keep thinking that there should be an N there, like internment, but to inter means to put someone into a cell, right? So I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. Interment magics to safely capture any errant creatures, if their theory translates well into practice, that is. With only one way to find out, you head for the waterways to confront a monster of legend, the water-wielding hippocampos. I suppose it is. Yeah, interment. I do wonder why, during the live letter, because before the expansion came out, they previewed a little bit of the stuff in it. And they showed off just the tiny little bit of this arena without... Usually they... No, do they usually show the first boss from the raids? I feel like maybe they do. But there they didn't, where they were like, we have to keep it so secret, we have to keep it super secret. And I was like, but why though? He was just a guy. He was just a chain guy. He was just a Iron Man 2 bad guy. So behind that tiny little behind that thing, there might be a hippocampus lurking, so we should watch out. And kill that real quick, and then get on to whatever this monster is that's supposed to be a threat to the entire universe. I'm sure it's hiding around here somewhere. Maybe. I don't know if it's from, like, usually, if they're like, we can't show you, we can't even give you a hint of what this boss is, it's because, it's for story purposes. It's like, because it would, in some way, jeopardize your enjoyment of the story. We're discussing who is going to main tank. Good talk. I forgot to turn down the graphics. Can I do it while fighting? I did it. Murky depths. What happens? Water? Water happened. Water always happens, and it never surprises me. Doubled impact. Hit both of the tanks. Spoken Cataract. Its head and body are at odds. What? Oh, I thought it would be like forward and sideways. Now I'm not sure. I should have been paying a lot more attention there. Sewage deluge. Oh, we got grates to stand on. Sluices are overflowing. I'm gonna get on the one with everyone else. Let's do that. It was a mistake. Oh, wow. Knockback from there, alright. Dissociation. The water's gone. Its head comes off. Where the head? Oh, the head's back. Stack marker and flare marker. All right. Perfectly timed. See that? Murky depths hits everybody. Now we're just gonna repeat. No, he's still pretty healthy. He'll throw something else into the mix. Sewage deluge. Platforms are safe. Oh, is it? Oh. So is it like the... Yep. Oh, I see. It is... I don't know. Spoken catter... Oh, that's the dash again. I see. So for the body, it's front and back. The head is just forward. Ooh. All right. Yeah, that'll work. Dissociation is head and body separate again. Oh, the head comes off. The Head is over there. I'm okay with that. Alright, so this seems less frantic than the first boss. Pretty much getting the hang of it. Ooh. Ooh. I can hear a stack mark. Oh, it's that stack marker. Oh, the body, I guess the head reappears, or whatever. Maybe that's what you meant? Like, the head did, it was weird, the head detached, and then it seemed like it came back without doing the attack. Fight's going on a bit long. I guess it's just because all of us have bad gear right now. Oh, so here is okay. Yes. Oh, okay. As you. No, let me. Oh no, healer died again. Oh, we don't have... Okay. The other fight, we had a lot of people who could res. This time it's just me. Me and the other healer. There's the head. So there will be a savage difficulty, which I will not be doing, but this fight exists on a much higher difficulty that might be fun to watch. Oh no, see, okay, after that head goes away, it does immediately grow another head. Oh, oh. Just barely. Can you live? You're gonna live. Oh, did I just do... Oh my gosh, Dancer, live. Are you standing in the thing, I hope? I bet you are. I bet you're standing in the thing so much. What I meant to say was calculated. I knew that that dancer would live with 300 health. That's why I didn't heal him. Hoo-ha. It's just harder to be in a group that doesn't have a summoner or a red mage to do the healing. I mean, to do the emergency rezzing. And then they show up to take all the credit. That looked a little bit like a tactics crystal. Alright, so I want helmet or accessories. Pass everything else. Which means I might have to run this again. But I got all week. Oh, I'm guaranteed to get that. No! Someone beat me with a what? With a 98. They beat my 97 with a 98. Alright, so I get nothing. That was a trial by fire, or water, I suppose. But I had faith we would see it through, so long as we had your stout arm. Are you calling me fat? Did I just call me fat? I knew you that you were... I think that might be a typo. I knew you that you were no mere mercenary, but to make such clean work of the hippocampus... Campos. Hippocampus is part of the brain. Was there also a monster in Greek? A monster in Greek called the hippocampos? Seasoned fighters scarcely have occasion to visit Pandemonium, let alone display their skills. Mastery takes all forms and deeds. Indeeds? Needless to say, our plan worked to perfection, in no small part thanks to you two. Themis's power was more than enough to complete the interment. Spellcasting was never my strong suit, but that almost made me feel like a proper magos. Are you heading out? Or was that a different good day, sir? Truly, having seen your abilities firsthand in your fight with Kanjita, I beg to differ. Shackles is the one exception. It is only because I've been forced to practice it since I was but a small child. Other magics leave me feeling completely out of my depth. Regardless, it seems luck is on my side to guide me to you. We may prove the impossible possible after all. It is Danganronpa 3. Take a little direct hit. Okay. I was like maybe 80% sure that you were just saying it and that you weren't actually saying goodbye. After witnessing the hippocampus' capabilities, I should not blame you for wishing to avoid any further creations in the place of their choosing. Alas, I doubt we will have the luxury. Thomas is pondering the road ahead. While our success in sealing away the hippocampus is certainly heartening, the fact that we have yet to see any other warders concerns me. Good day, sir. The key ward of Asphodelos is nothing if not cautious. Doubtless he has gathered what warders he could and retreated to a safe area. Let us hope so. It occurs to me that I know little of the key wards besides their magical prowess. Is there aught more you can share? Of course, a man named Hesperos is in charge of Asphodelos. Not only does he have thorough knowledge of the creatures here, but he takes great pains to be a mentor to each of the warders under his charge. Well, hopefully he wasn't doing it in 2019, because if he was, then he wasn't number one. He has done much to ensure that I flourished here, in spite of my ineptitude at magic, and I have always known him to be the sort of man who faces difficult decisions with unwavering composure. Furthermore, keywords are not only masters of interment, They can also bend the hallways of Pandemonium to their will with creation magics. Wow, seems like he would be a pretty cool boss to fight. With all this in mind, I am certain that so long as Hesperos guides them, the other warders are safe. And as long as he doesn't betray them and become a cool boss, he will be a good guy. I can see why absolute control over the environments is imperative. Had we faced the hippocampus upon arid sands instead of the waterways, I suspect the battle would have ended much more quickly. In any case, if this Hesperos is as capable and caring as you say, we would do well to seek him out as soon as we can and then defeat him, because he's the fourth boss. He has like as not taken your colleagues to a secure location. Also, he's behind the whole thing, and he's actually the 12th boss. The safest place would be the innermost circle of Asphodelos. From there, they could flee to Abyssos if hard-pressed. Oh, is that Tier 2 of the raid? Coming in summer of 2022? Even should they have sought safe haven within the other circles. If we make for the fourth, we ought to encounter them on the way. Indeed, and we shall gain a comprehensive understanding of the situation within Asphodelos, which will be essential in determining whether we ought to continue down to Abyssos. The rub, of course, is that I, myself, possess no power to bend the circles to my will. Instead, we must proceed through the central corridor, walking on our analog feet like cavemen, which was barred by the Phoenix? Just spell it right. Phoenix. I've heard that name before. A fiery bird with life eternal. Beyond unquenchable brilliance, the perfected concept boasts nigh boundless restorative powers, if I recall. Truly, an exemplary feat of creation magics. Perfection is ever built on the back of failure, however. La Habrea suffered countless missteps during his experiments. And he was hardly the only one. This Phoenix will be but one of many attempts at the concept gone awry. Aye, far from evoking wonder, our Phoenix is a creature of fury and wrath, and seeks only to turn the world to ash. Thus was it confined within Pandemonium. Development of the concept continued elsewhere, but as the moons turned, more and more researchers abandoned the project as an impossibility, save for La Habrea and his words. When I received word that at long last La Habrea had succeeded where so many others had failed, I was nearly overcome. Pray tell, how did the warders of Pandemonium celebrate their master's accomplishment? Oh, we had cupcakes. I don't believe we did. The research of the words of La Habrea has little consequence to our work here, save those rare times it charges us with a new specimen. Truth be told, I don't remember anyone making note of the occasion. But enough reminiscing. We must make ready to confront the Phoenix. While it's possible that it flew off to some other wing of Pandemonium, we would make that assumption at our own peril. Better to assume that we'll need to bring Asphodelos' most unruly subject to heel. I certainly see no reason to delay. The Phoenix's power over flame will avail far less in a barren corridor than elsewhere, so it may well serve us to subdue it sooner rather than later. Hey, what was that emote? Can I have that? The double fist clench emote. Yosha. Oh no, he's transported us somewhere other than the hallways. What? Rather, he changed the hallways into a flaming battleground, rife with Phoenician advantage. It seems whoever is behind this can... Did you not see him? It was the guy. It seems whoever is behind this can alter the space around us at will. We face an uphill battle. Also, why didn't he just, like, entomb us in concrete? Impossible. If those were creation magics at work, then that means... Let us confront that reality after we've conquered the enemy in front of us. Every drop of our focus shall be required if we are to inter the Phoenix. The Phoenix, excuse me. We shall gain naught from allowing the larger implications of this to distract us from the fight ahead. The Phoenix's rage will be unbridled, but I trust you are prepared for the worst. Fight well, friend. Don't tell me what to do. Having successfully subdued the hippocampus, without dying a single time, by the way, I'm pretty good at this game, your group sets out to find Erectonios' fellow warders, presumed to be hiding in the deepest circles of Asphodelos. Standing in your way, however, is the Phoenix, a violent, failed iteration of the iconic immortal bird. It soars through halls warped by creation magics into an arid and desolate wasteland, its perfect choice of battlefield, awaiting any foolish enough to venture into its newfound domain. Thus do I enter. Differenter music or same music? I don't know, I think it's the same. Oh, 3 heads. I see. Weather, pandemonium. Experimental fire plume is going to hit us all with fire? I was wrong. Oh! I guess I wasn't wrong. Oh, it's spinny flippy. Okay, yep, there goes a whole ring of them. And that means get to the middle. Oh, and then the inside. Oh, that's bad. Alright, 2 vuln stacks for everyone. Alright, they were separately hit with tank busters. Darkened fire. Let's go all the way out here, and maybe even sure. Oh, brightened fire. Oh, do we have to? We gotta put them. No. We didn't put it out. I realized too, but I was the farthest one from a thing. Are we? Oh, we're going. We're still going. 3 is a 5. I'll go 3. Oh. Oh. I have no resources left with which to do my things. I wonder if they were healing each other because they were when they were close. Is that why they have these auras? Must be. Oh, should I be standing inside? Is it healing us? Oh, somebody has helpfully copy-pasted how that mechanic works from a text guide, like a jerk, even though it's incredibly obvious. They're just trying to help, though. I'm completely out of MP. Oh no! 98! 99! 99! Okay. Flames of Undeath. Good to stand in? Out? Dead? What? Why does it have teeth floating? Right, Cinderwing. Don't stand on the right. Fledgling flight. The teeth flew away. Is it? They have eyes. Easy enough. Oh, spoke too soon. Oh, it's still got a lot of health. Heat of Condemnation hits a tank. Hits both tanks. Devouring Brand. Okay, we're closing off into quadrants. We probably wanted to separate, didn't we? Oh! I guess it was okay. Okay, that's okay. Everything around the thing, and then what happens next? The middle or near him? The middle. Okay. Getting the hang of it. Cone? Not quite a cone. It's through the middle. So that's gonna be the first cone. We can stand in the fourth cone and get ready to move into that space. Perfect. Oh, was that middle? Middle was getting hit? It was. Shite. Alright, well, I was about to say effortless, perfect slide cast, but it wasn't. I did a bad job. Oh, do we have one person in each? We almost. I got this one. Alright, we did it. Oh, I didn't even notice they had, guy face markers. Sorry, I should be playing the game. Right Cinderwang, move. Limit cut. That's the word I was looking for. A phrase that means nothing to people who don't play Final Fantasy. Limit cut markers. All the way to the outside, quickly. Tried. A lot of damage goes out in these fights. Or in this one, anyway. Cone. Cone. I stopped paying attention. Successful slide cast that time. Alright, let's... Someone's gonna have to come over to this one. Are they gonna make it? They are not. I got for not paying attention. This is why I like to do these as healer first time, is you spend so much time focusing on... Oh, I died. Focusing on other people. Alright, time for the LB3, as soon as one of us gets up. Do it up. Do it up, buddy. There you go, pulse of life. You'll love to see it. Come on. Oh, I did a bad job. How did I get that wrong? All right, nonsense around the outside. And then run out. Quickly. Quickly. Man, this would be cruel. Like, if we had to do this again, like, if we wiped it 7% here, or whatever we're at, 4. We've been fighting this for the last 13 minutes. Oh, Pippa. Alright, I've got mine. Whew. So that one just seemed to, like, in addition to having more stuff that was like, hey, here, this is going to happen, and then you have to remember... Ow. You have to pay a lot of attention in order to dodge it. It also had, seemingly had, like, group needs to do this correctly mechanics, like all 4 people with the light putting out the dark fire. And just seem to have more damage in general. Compared to the second one, definitely. Get 2 out here, they did great. I got nothing from last time, so we're again going ring and helmet and ring. Pass on everything else. I got 2 87s, that should be enough. Got a ring. With that, the Phoenix is shackled once more. However, there is yet the matter of this arena. As you've told us, there is but one person in Asphodelos with the ability and authority to wield such magics. You get something. Good day, sir. I will go cash that in before we do the final fight. Though fortunately, it appears he has saved us the trouble of finding him. A contemptible display, as befits an inferior specimen. Even so, I expected it would at least delay your advance. Imagine my surprise when I saw the chains of interment drag the Phoenix back to its cage. Either the bird is even more of a failure than its creators cared to admit, or you are no mean trespassers. I'm not mean, you're mean. I had hoped our suspicions were misplaced, but alas. Lest? Keyword has... Keyword. That's AOL. No, he said I was no mean trespasser. Meaning I'm not average. Keyword Hesperos. Why? Why have you brought such chaos to your beloved Pandemonium? Pandemonium. Pitiless, impenetrable, and utterly steadfast. Unlike those charged with its keeping. Ooh, burn. What has possessed you? I don't understand. He's a vampire! Oh, Erictonios, must you pester me with these inane questions? Think for yourself. Surely you can muster a theory or two with that dim wit of yours. Is he talking about me? Is he wearing an I'm with dimwit shirt? Then again, you have never been one for insight. Why Master Lahabrea suffers your mediocrity, I shall never understand. You may look like him, but you're not the Hesperos I know. Something has warped you, too, from the inside out. The key ward I knew had compassion for all those under his charge, be they clad in robes or shackled in chains. Was that all a farce? Did you hide your contempt for us all these years? Those who are content to merely glimpse the water's surface are doomed to be dragged to its depths. You prove my opinion of you with every word. My mind is clearer than it has ever been. Even now, seeing you feebly grasp for answers makes the bile rise in my throat. Such wasted potential. To be son to Master La Habrea. I didn't know Ascians had kids. I thought they just, you know, like, pollinated? I don't know. I had theories. Yet no more skilled with magic than a newborn babe. But of course, it's always about Were you going to say La Habred? I was going to say La Habred. Silence. You are not worthy to utter his name. For once, be grateful to witness a feat beyond your meager abilities, beyond your shallow reckoning. I have slipped the surly bonds of mortality. Oh, so you're still alive in the future, where I come from? Wait a minute, I don't remember any vampires. I'm pretty sure you're not immortal. I'm pretty sure you die. I have become one with our mythic creations and rid myself of imperfections. I stand upon the threshold of godhood. As a word, as a Hemetios shall I serve Master La Habrea, ever faithful unto the end of days. Oh, that's like next week. End of days is you know, a couple, it's right at the end of the month. And he shall require no other. I think not. Punches ground. Are you so blinded by arrogance you've lost sight of what it means to serve? Erectonios is more capable than you could ever know. It was thanks to his instruction that I was able to master the art of interment, both how to wield it and how to break free of it. I also know how to punch the ground. I played Scholar. Played Scholar for 80 levels. I know how to slap the ground. Very good at it. Kanji, let us quit this place. Whatever poison has corrupted Hespero's mind, it is plain his power far eclipses our own. We must have time to gather our strength. No, the end of day, or no, I guess they call it the final days, not the end of days. But it's a thing that happens in-game, in the past, that we know is going to happen shortly after this section of the past that we're in right now. No, actually, we don't know when. That was a lie. We don't know how long after this point it happens. But it happens at some point. Weaklings though they may be, it takes a singular aptitude to master interment so quickly, to say nothing of how swiftly that familiar laid low the Phoenix. Regardless, their noble aims will be their undoing. Where they fritter away their strength in calming the beasts of Asphodelos, I continue my work. Even should they survive long enough to reach the heart of my domain, naught shall await them but doom. It's okay, I got Asuna. I eagerly await your arrival, Erectonios. Even dullards have their uses. Alright, starting over here, he's gonna be a sad boy. Sad boy. My darkest suspicions have been realized. We face a key ward of Asphodelos himself. No big deal. More than that revelation, however, Erectonios worries me. He loved Hesperos for his compassion, but received naught but scorn from whatever the key ward has become. He has said little since our return. I only hope that the shock of recent events does not prove to be a death knell for his resolve. Let's grab more. Who wards the warders? Double warders, that's who. Much as I am loath to disturb Erythonios so soon after what I disturbed him before I even talked to you. I'm all about that disturbed life. I am afraid circumstances do not afford us the luxury of time. Perhaps it will do him well to speak about recent events concerning both the key ward and his father. He seemed reticent to say aught concerning La Habrea when the subject was broached. Doubtless his relationship with his father is a fraught one. Well, it is anime. People can't just have normal parents. The creation of the ward which surrounds Pandemonium was an astounding feat of magical prowess. A feat accomplished by none other than La Habrea. That both my father and I can bind others in chains is perhaps the only thing that we have in common. It's a metaphor, get it? Like his heart, La Habrea's heart is, you know. So it is true. I'm La Habrea's son, bereft of his talent for magics or his brilliant mind, but his son nonetheless. Surely this doesn't come entirely as a surprise to you? Nay, I had an inkling when you said you had practiced ethereal shackles since childhood. Assuming you haven't been employed here quite that long, it had to indicate some long-held connection with La Habrea. It was La Habrea that taught me how to cast ethereal shackles, but that was it. My further education was overseen by the words of La Habrea, more specifically my mother, who was a researcher here. You did speak of Athena, chief keyword before La Habrea. She's your mother, yes? How astute. I can see now why you were chosen to lead this investigation. You've the right of it. Athena was my mother, and it was she who invited me to join her here. La Habrea had nothing to do with it. I see there is little love lost between you two. What I cannot see is why La Habrea was appointed chief keyword when another was already in his place. Was in place. My mother is no longer with us, which is not sad, we know, because of Asians. They love dying. They love going, yes, I get to die and go back in the ethereal sea. I love that place. Turn into a new guy when I come out. And La Habrea, nary a moment spared to more. What the hell? What is this? What is this retcon? La Habrea was all too eager to assume her responsibility. Was nearly a moment spared to mourn her. What love do I owe him now when he offered not one drop of compassion then? I see. She is no longer with us. An expression to convey the end of a life. I have known only the public face of La Habrea. While he is lauded for his ability to maintain composure in the face of unnerving circumstances, I must admit that oft he comes across as cold. Apologies, but can we speak of something else? This topic isn't an easy one for me to discuss. Of course. There are more pressing matters at hand, after all, namely, how to deal with Hesperos. We have yet to see the other warders. Judging by what we know, we can surmise that Hesperos has confined them somewhere beyond our grasp. Now that he is aware of our presence, he will be preparing for our next encounter. We cannot expect to face him on equal footing. Quite the opposite, in fact. Every moment we spend chasing after the creations is another moment Hesperos can contrive another advantage for himself. The wisest course would be to find him first and foremost. You don't want me to fight some other misspelled Greek beast? He said that he has become one with the creations. Perhaps that means he is vulnerable to interment? In theory, that should be possible. However, is it enough merely to confine him after all he has done? I need to know why. I need to know what drove him to forsake everything he's worked for. Was it all truly so that he could serve his master? To my mind, he's merely put La Habrea's own work at risk in trade for some nebulous power. La Habrea is the chief keyword of Pandemonium. How would throwing it into disarray win his favor? It doesn't make any sense. I share your curiosity, but we must consider that our enemy has us at a disadvantage in every sense. What do you think? Should we seek to put him in fetters, or would it be too dangerous to allow him quarter? Punch his fist. I mean, punch his palm. No, do this one. Daring as ever, I see. I know not which trials you have faced in your past. Or my future, but to see you so certain is all the convincing I need. Very well. Let us try Erectonios' plan. Thank you, Conchita. I believe I can shed some light on the nature of our foe. When Hesperos spoke with us, I noticed he bore the telltale fangs of the Vrykolakas, a beast which feeds off the ether of its prey. Likely that is the creation Hesperos merged his essence with. And we know all too well that he can change the environment around himself at will. The battle will not be an easy one, but I believe in our victory. Punches, there you go. And I always say punch his fist. It's punch his palm. Don't punch your own fist. Bwam. So I guess Vrikalikos must be the Greek word for vampire, perhaps. He called himself a Hametheos and claimed immortality. I know not how he discovered this dark art, but his actions do not bespeak a sound mind. That Hesperos possessed such a lust for power that he would resort to this. Clearly I misjudged him. I'd like nothing more than to strike him down myself. But seeing you wipe that arrogant grin off his face will taste just as sweet. Alright. The perpetrator of the chaos in Asphodelos is revealed to be none other than its keyword, Hesperos. Once known for his kindness to both warders and captives alike, he now appears before you as an amalgamation of mythic beast and man, a Hametheos. Drunk with devotion to La Habrea and dripping venom for Erectonios, Asphodelos' keeper may, too, be its most fearsome creation. Okay, well, I'm gonna go get a ring, and then I'm gonna kill him. Ring. Yeah, I've got a 560 ring. We'll replace that. This should be 580, the stuff that you get from this. That's not it. $580? Yes. All right. Venture forth into the fourth circle. Boop, 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 boop. All of these have been like instant queues as healer. I guess people, even if tanks are not in demand right now for leveling, maybe people prefer not to heal raids on day one. I didn't imagine an elephant man. Like, oh, I'll create a bunch of illusions from your mind and memories and imagination. I'm pretty sure I didn't imagine that. Plus, I need to mod the game again to take those out. They look so stupid. I hate them. I need my food. Don't do it. Okay, do it. Lyrics. Witness the full measure of a Hemetios' power. So there's the tank buster. Ooh, blanket. Setting the scene. It became a lightning something. Decollation hits everybody? Yes. Okay, so that just made it so that we had to run to a corner, but it couldn't be the danger corner. Oh, okay. Hollow Knight. Or something. Earth, fountain, water, pinaxe. Oh, we're gonna, yeah, get knocked away. Alright. See, this is less fun because I think there are people that have done it before. Okay. Something wacky's gonna happen. Blankets Galore is the name of this ability. Okay, so first is that get away from the center. And next is whatever, we didn't see that one, did we? Green. Green is spread. And now this one is the knockback. Oops. Ooh, uh-oh. Feast upon your ether. You're gonna eat us. His what? His bellone. Poisoning the ether of bellone coils. Okay. So, ooh. Oh, it requires a specific... Oh, no, is it no? No? What? 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 There was an X. Was that the No Healers Club? Scurry, vermin! Southerly shift. Well, which way is south? That way. Rude. this Climus would speak English or Japanese. Oh. How are we supposed to know what he was gonna do? Okay, if he holds his cape out, he's gonna do the knockback. Oh. Oh, already got him. 4 blankets. Seems overpowered. They may have to nerf this guy. Alright, first is the... Okay, green is spread. I missed what this is? Is this... we all get... Is this the knockback? It is. Fire, I don't know if we've seen before. Okay, stack marker. Oh, plus we have some places to stand. Is it gonna be okay? Lightning is get away from the center. Probably not to the... yeah, well, alright. Alright, LB. Rude. Oh no! Well, I guess we're still going. I guess we're not still going. Shonk. Alright, so this was the first one that has wiped us. I blame the Elephant Man. Alright, this time with even more attention paying. Hey, you're gonna have to get out of the middle. Lightning is point blank from the center. So the beginning of the fight's very straightforward and easy. So this is water, so this is going to be a knockback. Where was it that things first started to go wrong? So there's no indication of which one happens first, other than you have to watch it glow. Oh, everyone's going over here. Take a little damage. Aether Sucker. Okay, so it's we need somebody in each one, and it's you can't be in the one that matches your symbol. Makes a little more sense now. And I'm sure that has a fun equivalent in Savage difficulty. Alright, so this is going to be a knockback from here? Or a cone? It's a cone. How do you know? He held his cape out. Is it which hand he holds it in? I'll just follow everyone else. Alright, now we each have to try to absorb a ball that does not match our, right? Yes. Alright, here's the part where we have 4 blankets. What happens first? Green first, which is spread. Lightning, which is out of the middle. Followed by a knockback. Northerly shift. But I don't know if we have to be... Maybe it's just the first time is always the cone? Because his blade is... I wasn't watching the blade. So I still have no idea. One of those. Easterly shift and it's a knockback? How do you tell? I still don't know. I'll just have to look it up. Because, like, the consequences of getting it wrong are enormous. Which is a shame for a mechanic that doesn't show up until halfway through a very long fight. Alright. Yeah, we kill him here during this. Splat. Achievement unlock could be worse. I think I did quite a deal better than could be worse. What is the name of that achievement? Could be worse. Oh, Nosferatu. Oh, and there is no helmet for the final. Huh. Okay, so I'm only going for the ring, which I might get with a 94. Oh, there's 2 rings. Why is it called Could Be Worse? Also, look at how close I am to 20,000, if I move it over. Look how close I am to 20,000 achievement points. I'll probably get it today. From doing something or other. 20,000 achievement points. Now, Thomas, we end this here. And then there won't be 2 more Pandemonium patches, but there will be. Fools! I will not be put in chains. He punched the ground with his mind. To think that I would fall before one such as you. Perhaps I should... Excuse me. Perhaps I should have treated you as more than mere nuisance. Are you saying that I'm no mean nuisance? Also, why are you so tall? Despite your victory, you shall never have the knowledge you seek. The secrets of my transformation, the secrets of my deception, they shall return to the star with me. You are wasting your breath, Hesperos. We have the upper hand now. Surely you can see that. Yes, yes. My repertoire is not exhausted yet, however. Although I have failed, my end shall be on my terms. I remain loyal to the very last. Come what may, I die with dignity. That's fine. I can just go to the ethereal sea. We've talked to dead people before. We've gone into the ethereal sea and talked to their memories. We do it all the time. How did your ambition lead you so astray, Hesperos? You were better than that. Your star shone more brightly than any other in Pandemonium. You had La Habrea's respect, his trust. What more did you seek? That you would forsake all that and sully your legacy besides. It is a mystery. He became so blinded by his desires that he lost sight of his duty. In the end, he lost everything, and his plans lie in tatters. Like a cloak, like a tattered cloak on the floor. I fail to see any dignity in that. Even so, I would have liked to know why he chose this path. Hesperos' infatuation with your father was his undoing. Perhaps he was so jealous that fate had chosen you, and not him, to be La Habrea's son. So terrible did this jealousy become that he sought verboten power. Power that La Habrea would be unable to ignore. How does a pursuit for respect warp one's heart so? How does infatuation with one person turn into contempt for everyone else? I've never heard of such a thing. No, it's pretty normal. Pretty normal where I come from, where everybody sucks. I see. I admit I cannot but find it vexing. But perhaps that signifies naught but my own capacity for bitterness. I do understand what it is to have a beacon to follow in dark times, a person you trust to guide you true. How it is to desperately wish their light would fall upon you again. But we've spent enough time assuming the intentions of the departed. There are the living to consider. We must find the other warders and round up the remaining creations forthwith. Of that, at least, we can be certain. I believe I can be of help in that matter. The influence of Hesperos' magic is fading throughout Asphodelos. Now is the perfect opportunity to seize control of the facility and restore things to their original state. Seize control? Can you really do that? What? What is this presence? It's La Habrea, obviously. Erictonius, what lies beyond that threshold? That's the passage which connects Asphodelos to Abyssos. Why? Be on your guard, you two. Now that Asphodelos is free of obstructions, I can more easily sense disturbances in the lower levels. Something stirs in Abyssos. And it's going to attack us in 7 months. A warding sigil? How? Let us return to the gates for now. I should like to apprise the situation from there. Needless to say, our investigation is far from over. Next boss, La Habrea? Or is he the final boss? We can't kill him, though. He's got to be alive for the future. Oh, maybe we're going to kill La Habrea and oh... Calling it. One of these guys is going to become La Habrea. They're going to get conveniently mind-wiped, just like Emmett Selk did. And they're going to become the new La Habrea. And it's going to be like, oh my gosh, he was La Habrea all along. I don't know which one it's going to be. Probably, I mean, it's his son, so maybe, I don't know. Just when I had thought our work should be done, did this tragedy unfold all throughout Pandemonium? I forgot to change back into Bard for the cutscenes. Although we've defeated Hesperos, it appears we have but scratched the surface of Pandemonium's troubles. My head is still swimming with questions, but could this mean that Hesperos wasn't actually behind this? It is a stark possibility, yes. The root of this crisis may lie somewhere much deeper than even Abyssos. Like raids 9 through 12. When we first encountered you, you said the memories of your escape were vague and that your senses were muddled. I believe this was more than the result of a panicked mind. You were made to feel this way by a powerful magical influence. It is possible that this same magic could have poisoned Hesperos' heart, twisting his affection for La Habrea into a burning obsession. Then, in his altered state, he was made an offer of power he could not refuse. Wait, are you suggesting that someone else turned Hesperos into that thing? If so, it stands to reason that they wouldn't stop at him. Indeed. Our mysterious mastermind does not lack for subjects for his experiments. For more potential hemetiol. Boy. If what you're saying is true, then my colleagues, they're doomed to share the same fate as Hesperos. Do not you lose heart yet, Erectonios. Hesperos challenged us alone. And that tells me that the process of his creation was a long and taxing one. If he was the first Hemitheos, then the rest of the warders are likely still alive. However, much as I would like to hasten deeper into Pandemonium, they didn't make it yet. The way forward is sealed off. We must focus our efforts on finding a way through. With the creation still having free reign of Asphodelos, that won't be easy. On the contrary, I yet retain control of these circles and can thus wield interment magic within their halls at will. The creatures will pose no threat to us. Just like that? Then nothing's stopping us from returning order to Asphodelos. Just so. We can even have a housing district here. I shall require your expertise to keep the peace after the subjects have been returned to their confinement, however. You are Asphodelos' sole remaining warder, after all. Truth be told, I did not expect this investigation to become so involved. Of course, I would like to resolve matters here without resorting to outside help, but... Do you mean to send a report to La Habrea? 'Tis too soon to say. Let us first find a way into Abyssos. It would be best to withhold our judgment until we've ascertained the whereabouts of the other warders and the identity of the party responsible for their disappearance. Agreed. Even so, if it means saving even a single life within Pandemonium, then I'm not above asking La Habrea for help, should it come to that. I really thought, though, that we established that returning to the star is a joyous occasion. It's totally fine if those guys get killed. Recent discoveries certainly paint Hesperos' actions in a new light. The number of unknown elements in this investigation grows. And we must proceed forward with utmost caution. Maybe it's only the convocation, where it's like, oh, it's a joyous occasion when you die. You finish your work and you die. To that end, Erectonios and I shall remain here for the time being. Much as I enjoy your company, I do not believe we shall be needing protection so long as we remain in Asphodelos. You should take 2 patches to rest. Surely you are weary, and there may be more battles ahead of us. There better be. Themis' burden may grow heavier in your absence, but he's shown us he's more than capable to bear it. Still, I would help wheresoever I'm able. All we've achieved so far has been thanks to you two, and I mean to repay the debt I owe. I don't know what use I can be outside of placating the creatures, but I'll find a way. Nonsense, you owe us nothing. It was thanks to your knowledge of the magics which govern this place that we were able to come this far. Elsewise, we would have likely succumbed to the exaggerating a bit. exaggerating just a bit. I did fine on that fight. Each of us has arrived at this dire pass by separate paths, but it is only by combining our respective expertise that we'll reach the end of it and see Pandemonium saved. Thank you, Themis. Hesperos' words seem to have affected me more than I realized. Together we've come this far, and together we'll reach the end. I have no doubt we will. Even so, let us allow Conjita her rest. Besides, you have someone awaiting a report on your progress, yes? I dare say your story will be much more than they ever imagined. So you don't serve the convocation. I suppose I needn't worry about you going behind our backs to curry favor with La Habrea. My friend would be very curious to hear what has occurred here. However, I fear that if I left Pandemonium, the wards protecting it would quickly deteriorate. I hope she does not mind assuming some of my duties in the meantime. Alright, so turning this in is gonna wrap it up for us. I don't think there was anything else added in the patch. Welcome, Conjita. Back from the past, none the worse for wear, I see. So, what did you find? You mean, when did you find? So there is evil afoot. There was. Please. We've been over this. There was evil afoot in Pandemonium. An already ominous place, I must say. Mythic beasts and well, truly we are fortunate to see you returned to us in one piece. It appears the voice Conjita heard from the crystal spoke the truth. As for who left it behind and why, those are yet questions to be answered. Indeed, it could be someone who lived among the ancients, or it could be someone trying to avert a tragedy from the future. I guess. Much remains shrouded in mystery, yet ilm by ilm we shall unveil that mystery. With the help of Conjita, of course, by her actions, was the fabric of the past reshaped, or had I always gone back to the past and fixed this? That's what I prefer to think. Oh, okay, and then he says that. Which can only mean one thing, that her intervention in Pandemonium's crisis is but one of the countless building blocks of history upon which our present has been built. There is no telling what consequences would arise if we stopped pursuing this matter now. Whatever plot is unraveling within Pandemonium, we must not let it reach its conclusion. If one of those creatures should escape, what ripples would carry forth to the future? No. If I never go back, it means that I always never went back. Don't you see? Ripples forth. I ought to smack you. They might... Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, the timeline's in danger. Alright, keep talking. They might wreak havoc upon the world of the ancients, and their despair would leave an indelible mark upon history's pages. Oh wait, did that happen? No, it didn't. Therefore, it's not going to have happened. That despair would only feed the terrible beasts that arose... You know what he sounds like? He sounds like the stupid narrator who narrates the endings in Radiant Historia. When it's like, oh, those ripples carried forth into the future and made the world turn into sand. Unavoidable tragedy. Finn. Despair would only feed the terrible beast that arose during the final days. The first final days already had a drastic effect on the eons that followed. If the scars it left were made even deeper, had been. Not were, had been. If they had been made any deeper, but they hadn't, and it already happened, we risk losing our present entirely. Bunch of jokers. I'll be right back. I'm going to the Ulda markets and buying 3 of the dunce caps for you guys to wear. Whatever the cost, our connection with the future of Elpis must be preserved. I know I've asked much of you already, but can I count on you to continue your work in Pandemonium? Alright. Your tireless efforts are much appreciated. If there is aught we can do to ease your burden, you may only say the word. Speaking of which, might you return the crystal into our keeping? While we cannot accompany you to the past, perhaps something can be gained by researching it further. Okay. Bunch of nonsense, this guy going on about ripples. Oh, if you don't go back in time, then maybe the ripples. It shines just as splendidly as the day we met. That was today. Right? We shall begin work right away, but I cannot promise any meaningful results for some time. And as matters in Elpis seem to be in a similar state, I mean, I guess that's fine. I guess the time machine goes back. Like, it's funny. They're like, you must rest for 6 to 8 months. And I go, okay, well, I set my time machine to go back 30,000 years minus 6 months. Oh, you're back. Well, guess what? We're ready now. Before let me make an introduction. As our research moves into a critical state, another assistant, Myleni, is an expert in armaments from throughout history, be they from the far-flung past or made in the most modern forges. Should you find aught of interest in your adventures, bring it here, and she will be glad to offer you the most powerful weapons anyone's ever seen, but only if you do some stuff. We're not just gonna give them to you. Even though we believe in time ripples, we won't give you the most powerful weapons in existence just because. You gotta do something. Gotta do a little something for us. We know researchers in numerous fields that would love to get their hands on artifacts from bygone eras, and would give you goods in return that should aid you in trials ahead. Furthermore, if you ever wish to peruse the records of events you have reported here, Nemgigi has been taking faithful and thorough notes. She is at your complete disposal. I sense that we have embarked upon something monumental, something that will dwarf all else I have accomplished in my many years of research. I can think of no greater honor nor reassurance than to have your capable assistance in this endeavor. If there's anything to be found that will contribute to your success, we shall find it. We shall not rest until we have unlocked the mysteries of this crystal, and you'll be the first to know when we do so. It will be in the patch notes. Would that we could hear the words of the crystal and see the memory stored within. Our research would progress by leaps and bounds. Alas, sometimes the greatest discoveries are made under the most severe restrictions. We shall redouble our research efforts, and be not perturbed by the obstacles we face. Alright. Pandemonium complete. And thus, am I gonna stream tonight? 6 hours from now? It's not a bad idea. Maybe a quick stream of Danger Energy. I don't know whether I will play a whole lot of it or not. But a little of that, and then maybe Thursday. Thursday I'll either continue Danger Energy or we'll start on Loop Hero. But I need to figure out what I'm going to play. There was Monsters something that Garrett suggested. So maybe I'll look into that as well. Thank you for everybody hanging out. I will, like I said, be back in several hours to stream a little Danger Energy with a short puzzle game. And I will see you then. Have a good day. I'm so used to saying have a good night, but it's not nighttime. Not here.